Okay, so welcome to the final video of this STF, and we're going to do a quick master like I said. Now, full disclaimer, and I've said this before, I'm not a mastering engineer. I'm doing this on headphones so that the mic doesn't get any feedback. So don't expect this to be a world-class master. I fully recommend, if you're making your own music, that you get it mastered elsewhere for various reasons, two of which are incredibly important. The first is that you often need a second set of ears, someone who can objectively listen to your track. And second, mastering engineers, a good one will have a well-treated and well put together room, which allows him to listen to your music more accurately than you might be able to. With that said, everybody asks for this, so I'm going to do a quick master, but like I said, it won't be of professional quality. So let's pull in Ozone onto the pre-master, and you know what, we actually might as well send this pre-master to the master now, because we're not going to use a reference track. But if we were, what we'd do is have the reference track sent to the master, and then the pre-master sent to external out. We're just going to use this master track now, and we'll turn off this EQ because we don't need it. Boom, boom, and we'll just copy over the span. So we don't need a spectrum analyzer, there's one in Ozone. So, okay, so let's pop into the master, see what we've got. And again, we'll focus on the chorus with the most going on. So it's a good place to start. And I'll pull up Ozone here. Now there's a bunch of presets. I don't really like using presets. We don't need to use them. So let's have a listen through. Now you'll often see engineers or producers roll off the highs, which is a good idea. It gives you a bit of headroom. So let's do that. Let's pull in band 8, and we'll just do like an almost brick wall. No, not a brick wall. You're not on a brick wall. Remember to bypass. So for whatever reason, Ozone adds a little bit of it's probably this actually. If we turn this off. Now the other thing we want to do is bring out the low end. So band 1, high pass. We'll do a brick wall on this. We'll just bring it up to around 30 Hertz. Now this can often cause phasing issues, so you have to double check that it's not screwing up the low end. So actually what I'm going to do is change this to a flat, 24. Okay, there we go. Now I feel like the highs are a little bit too piercing, so I'm actually going to do a deep cut here. Now when you're mastering, you don't want to do deep, heavy cuts. You should do that when you're mixing. So mastering is more about kind of refining, or it's about the smooth, the character kind of EQ. So and now there's certain places where if you make a notch, it'll add a certain characteristic. So if we add one at 200 Hertz, we'll get more body. So you can hear that, and if I pull it out, we lose body. At 6 kilohertz, you might get sizzle. If I pull that down, you lose it, right? So, and there's often a mud spot around here, around 300 Hertz, which we can test. If we push it up, we'll pull it down. No, we'll leave it. We don't need to do anything. So, start EQ. A professional mastering engineer might do a bit more, but that's all I'm going to do for now. The second thing we're going to add is a little bit of stereo widening. So let's chuck in the imager. We'll put this before the compression. And we're not going to do much with dynamics. We're not going to add too much compression. Okay, so imager. So we can solo these and listen to them. And maybe we want this completely in the middle, right? Almost. I don't know what that does, but we'll leave that. Okay. So that makes a noticeable difference. That's actually quite nice. It's still not super wide, but it'll do. Okay, so what else can we got? We can look at adding exciting. No, I'm probably not going to add much here. Might add some bit of warmth down here. And we want to leave that low end untouched. Okay, dynamics. Like I said, probably not going to do much here. Maybe just make sure it's leveled out. And this is really just adding the final touches. So I don't want to go too much over 1 dB of gain reduction. Okay. So it's just smoothing it out a bit. And it's easier to do this solo normally so you can hear. Oops. Why is this not playing? Okay. It's pretty good. And finally, we will use the maximize. Where are we? We could, okay, there's two ways we could do this. We could use a maximizer, or we could use the vintage limiter, but I'm going to use a maximizer. It's more popular. So we're going to use IRC, we'll just use IRC2. I'm not going to go into the technical details, largely because I can't remember. IRC2 tends to work nicely. If you've got Ozone and you want to learn about these different things, read the manual. It's really interesting. This is going to get loud, so in the editing software, I'm just going to be pulling down the volume so that you don't get bombarded with sound and your ears don't get destroyed. So let's slowly pull this down. And I find about 3 dB of gain reduction is good, and we can play around with this here, the character, or the release. Okay, so I'll just save that. And let's just have a listen through to the key sections to make sure there's no unexpected peaks or parts we've kind of missed out or screwed up before we export. So start with the intro, and we'll just watch and listen to this thing in Ozone. Okay, so that's sounding pretty awesome. Congratulations for getting to the end. I hope you learned something. Remember, if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter @edmprod or via email sam@edmprod.com.